Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Tetcher, and welcome to our second series in our Heroes Global Championship for 2017 Qualifier for the European region. This is our second series, and it's going to be the Damascus boys versus the Unhallowed. Now, for those who don't know who the Damascus boys are and why I focused on casting them, they are Alex the Pro G's team. He has come back. He's out of retirement. He basically intends on, thanks to the new setup that this league system offers, where basically just by being in the league, you're getting a fairly decent set of pocket change just by staying in the league. Alex, he originally quit because he wanted to study. He wanted to go study. So in this case, he's actually going to continue his aim, at least, is to continue studying, but also play in the league, also play in Heroes, and basically just continuously do that. So it's a super cool system, the new Heroes of the Storm system at the moment for the league, where basically we are having people able to continue studying or continue their lives, etc., and being able to do this at the same time. It's a fantastic change that has been made, and Alex is a very good example of that. And for now, it looks like he's going to be on one of his favourite heroes, grabbing that Muradin super early on as their first pick, bans, ETC, and Savannah. So right now, tanks are being very limited by Damascus boys for Unhallowed, but Unhallowed bringing out the Samuro very early on and banning out that Tracer, with Tassadar being shown off. Looks like they did not want to deal with that at all. However, with that Tracer banned out, I'm expecting a Illidan pick coming out from the Damascus boys, and immediately there is one with the Johanna ban. One, because they already have Muradin, they've banned out ETC, so they're limiting the tank choices of the Unhallowed. And secondly, because it's a blind. It's the only tank with a blind left, except for Artanis, and that's unlikely to be picked. So now it is So now that means the Damascus boys, if they do want to do it, can pick up Illidan without having too much worries. And the new Illidan is very strong, so it wouldn't be a bad choice for them to do anyway. Whereas the Unhallowed going to bring out the Arthas, probably the best tank left if the Damascus boys did pick up the Illidan, so he can get that attack speed slow later on. But in the early game, we may still see a bit of domination. They still need some range damage. They now have tank, melee, and support. Question is, what is that range damage going to be? Li Ming, already quite solid, and with this lineup, they have basically one of everything they need. So with the Unhallowed can basically pick anything they want as their last pick. So they've left themselves very open. It's a pretty decent draft for them. And Damascus boys now probably going to go with the Illidan. Like I said, I expect that's going to happen right now, and then a main support. I would assume Brightwing to keep that Illidan alive, keep him sustained, and continue to just keep control of the map. And hopefully for them, the Illidan will be able to give them the map control and the fighting that they need. They could also swap out for some Immortal killing, because they currently don't have a huge amount of Immortal rush, and Samuro will win that race. Damascus boys, with the comp they have at the moment, will have to fight on the Immortals. So why Samuro is just going to clone himself onto the Immortal and just beat it down way quicker and the Damascus boys will be able to contest. Another option here would be Greymane for them to try and outrace that. They bring out the Chen, so that's the solo laner here. So no Illidan, they just have the double support. So it looks like maybe an auto-attack Valor, or maybe the Tassadar could even be going for some damage-based talents here. Gonna have to keep an eye on that, because it's a very peculiar lineup that they've managed to come out with now. The Illidan was open, but that was, once again, a very teamfight orientated thing, so they were going to struggle racing. In this case, they actually have even less damage, thanks to the Chen, but they basically now have someone who can live up in the top lane. They can actually park Tassadar down in the bottom lane with everyone else. And the Unhallowed bringing out the Tychus. A fantastic choice. They need something to shred through those tanks due to the Damascus boys getting some very heavy tanking here. So the Tychus will allow them to burn through that quite nicely. The Elusive Brawler on Chen will make that a little bit more difficult, but a Grenade is going to respond to that pretty effectively. And Samuro, if he is the one who the Unhallowed decide to leave in the top lane, will actually burn through a Chen without Elusive Brawler. So the Elusive Brawler is probably going to be picked up by Chen here so that he can actually survive the solo lane. But then again, this is Alex. It's probably going to be him on the Chen, so he's probably going to get some really decent work done. Is it going to be Tychus running down the time pool? I expect it to be so. That will be locked in unless they want to swap it out for something like Reyna or something like that. But no, it is going to be the Tychus. So overall, the Unhallowed with some really good options for burning through the tanks of Damascus boys. Damascus very focused on that Valor. That Tassadar, though, could be run with damage. Otherwise, they're kind of relying on Valor to just focus down people one at a time. It'll be interesting. Valor does give a lot of immortal killing potential, thanks to her. She gives a lot of immortal killing potential thanks to her Q build, because she can get extra damage to non-heroic targets, and that includes the immortals, so she can actually burn that down quite quickly. Tassadar, like we said, with damage build, static charge can allow Tassadar to actually output a very reasonable amount of damage. So we will keep an eye on that one, see if that does help out. But overall, I still think, I'm looking at the drafts, I think Unhallowed came out pretty nicely. Their race potential is really solid. It's very much down to Damascus boys winning the fight in some way and finding a way to deal with Samuro, because Samuro will just burn through the Immortal super fast. Whereas Valor can keep up, but she won't be able to win that race. And with the double tank, the Damascus boys will struggle a bit. But lane potential, they do look solid in terms of just team fight potential as well. They look solid, but I'm curious to see where a lot of their damage output will come from, because if Valor doesn't go with the multi-shot build, she's going to lose out on some of the damage she could use to actually win team fights. If she goes to the Q build, if she goes to the Q build, she's going to struggle to do damage in team fights. If she doesn't go for the Q build, then she's going to struggle on racing down the Immortal. So it's very much on how the Damascus boys want to play, so give themselves some freedom with it, but they do need to be careful. For now, we're just waiting for the Unhallowed to jump into the lobby here, and then we will be getting this underway. Right now, Unhallowed, I like their draft quite a bit. The Arthas was a solid pickup. It sort of prevented that Illidan pick from coming out here instead of going for that gen. They have decent single target damage with the Li Ming. The Tychus obviously could help burn through some of those tanks as long as they can keep them alive. With Tassadar and Brightwing, though, those tanks may be sustained quite nicely, so this may be a long game here being planned out for the Damascus boys. We will keep an eye on it. We will see what is happening for this one. Right now, players have just managed to make their way into the lobby, so they're going to be selecting their heroes. I believe I'm the only person casting this. Yep, that looks like it. So I don't think we need to wait for any more casters. We can just jump into that, and the players can begin locking in their heroes. Hurrah! Yeah, there's a lot of recognizable names on this team from just really strong teams in the past. Hang on, I need to reply to something here. Being asked if I'm official. There we go. There we go. Alright, so... Yep, sorry, they were just asking if I was official, if I was an official caster, or whether I was something different. Alright, so, players locking in, and a reminder, guys, that the this is also just an excuse for me to change scenes, so I can actually set up my scenes correctly. But a reminder that currently there is a promotion going on at Heroes of the Storm called the Nexus Challenge. All these things you are currently seeing on your screen are rewards for simply just picking up heroes and playing with a friend. So if you have a friend who plays heroes, or you have somebody you want to introduce to heroes, you can play with them and earn some lovely rewards. For playing 30 games with a friend in Heroes of the Storm before I think January, you get 4 heroes: Li Ming, Ariel, Greymane, and Kerrigan, and you also get an in-game mount motorcycle and a 31-day stim pack, which increases the amount of XP and gold you earn in-game if you complete 15 games, that friend, so half the amount just to get that stuff. If you're a fan of Overwatch, you can grab a in-game Overwatch skin. Not for Heroes of the Storm, for Overwatch. The Genji skin you can currently see on your screen right now is a reward just for playing 15 games of Heroes of the Storm with a friend. So you can't lose this. You get to have some fun playing a fantastic game, and you get a ridiculously cool skin for Overwatch. This is not a sponsored thing. I just think it's really worth promoting. This is really good. I'm not being told to promote this in any way, shape, or form. But for now, we are loading into the game, ladies and gentlemen. And it is time for our second series of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Battlefield of Eternity. And Hang on. Show map scores. Boom. There we go. Oh, Unhallowed appears to be a bit off the end. We'll fix that in a second. But for now, let's introduce the teams quickly. So, sporting on the left-hand side, it is the Damascus boys. And playing for them, we have Alex the Pro G playing the Chen. Nate playing the Brightwing Remaballer, playing the Tassadar Eternal, playing the Muradin, and Crosby playing the Valor. Whereas on the right-hand side in the red trunks, it is going to be the Unhallowed. And playing for them, we have Ordin playing the Samuro. We have Tychus being played by Sir Dibble. We have the Malfurion being played by Cadrock. Bad Dragon playing Leeming, and Doombane playing the Arthas. And immediately a dance party, which coincidentally gives me some time to try and sort this out, which I can do pretty easily by doing that, I believe. Oh, I have to transition after I've done this, but that's fine because that means nothing changes on your screen. So let's sort that. Let's recenter those names right now. Doombane taking some damage, no one getting killed. A fail of a heart here coming out from Cardock. But overall, there we go. And transition. Boom! Fixed. Thank God for studio version. So for now, more B-stepping coming out from both teams. No kills happening either way. Alex playing very safe. He knows that Ordin will be able to out-damage him from his, even through his brew, unless he has the elusive brawler, but he needs to be careful of when that's on cooldown and when that isn't. You can see it does have a 20-second cooldown, so he needs to be careful of it. Arthas killed off in the bot lane. Twitch tours away. I completely missed that as I was busy talking about Alex, but for now, we do see First Blood going over to the Damascus boys here. We're seeing the perfect storm coming in from Muradin on them, and Countering Pursuit, considering the huge lack of globes on this map. That is a very difficult one. They basically have to win the Immortal now in order to make that work in terms of globe collection. Remember, we'll pick that one up though. Sir Tibble pulling back. Some of the other talents we are seeing. We're seeing the Astral Presence once again coming in. Second time we've seen that in all of these series. And here comes the objective. Alex tanking through that very nicely with his through elusive brawler helping him out every now and again. Shandor's Clarity for the Malfurion so that he can give his team that cooldown reduction so Bad Dragon can spam the abilities even more. And Way of the Blade coming in for Samuro so that he can do that extra damage. And that seriously is what helped him burst through that shield coming out from the Chen there. Oh, but Tychus standing in the Immortal stun there. Takes a huge amount of damage. The root from Malfurion, though, will protect him. And Valor, thanks to the protection of her team, defending that Immortal, is able to get to the halfway point. Very nicely done there. Crosby on point, and he's now going to start on the enemy Immortal again. Using that Q that he has got here, the Monster Hunter, just working that down while once again his team defends that. Chen Samuro, who has the most Immortal damage here, who can be helping his team win the race here, is still busy making sure he doesn't lose the XP to Chen, so they're not getting the value out of this. Tychus once again caught in the Immortal Star, getting worked down by Nate here, but being chased back. He will be able to stay alive here. Arthas just surviving there. Took some big damage, but overall he is going to stay alive. Alex, once again, he's just outlaning this. Aldin, that's really hard to pronounce the name. He's trying to work him down, but he's just getting out-sustained with the lack of health regen that Samuro does have really coming to bite him here. And wow, really nicely played by the Damascus boys here. Just able to control this fight incredibly. Samuro unable to get any damage to the Immortal, and now we have a over half shield Immortal pushing in here, doing some damage. We've got that Triumvirate from the Leaning. We're trying to spam that in this race so that they can Malfurion can heal and poke a little bit further away. Deflection coming in for the Samuro so we can get less damage from those basic attacks coming in from Valor, who has now taken the Puncturing Arrow. So she's going to do even more damage to Immortal. So the longer this game goes on, until she is fully stacked, the better the Damascus boys are going to do. And speaking of doing better, they've already managed to grab first Fort and second blood, able to lock down the Arthas there again and pick him off. And Samuro taken out by Alex, diving deep. He's out of minions though, using his elusive brawler though. He's able to block one of the Fort Sword attacks, so he only takes one. And he's able to keep pushing. He doesn't have the health regen until now. He now finally has that Brewmaster's balance, so he's able to tank through this even better and regen all his health through his shield. Sir Tibble gonna come up here, gonna throw out that grenade. Is he going to try a minigun through Alex here? Doesn't look like it. He knows he can't really defend this. He's pulling back. Samuro is now arriving though. But look at this positioning. Eternal and Crosby looking to wrap around. They know Ordin's there. They reveal him. Can they get it? They stun one. That's not the right one. Go for the one that's running away. Only the real one has micro abilities until you take that level 10 talent. But oh dear, over aggression there from Crosby. He does go down. They weren't able to get Samuro. He does escape here. The fort super low and out of Adam. Alex still going here. He's doing some huge damage. He's trying to micro around. He's trying to bait the enemy team around. Kicks over the fort once again. He gets out. He even throws to the B step for good measure. And we only see one member going down for the Damascus boys. Unfortunately, that route did catch Crosby. But overall, they're still looking solid. And Alex still playing aggressively here. Gonna move through this. The minigun's active though. That's huge damage. The grenade drops. The slow being dropped by Arthur's here, but he pulls back. He knows what happened last time. Does not get stunned by a turtle. And he's able to pull back to safety. But once again, incredible job coming out from the Damascus boys. Despite losing that member, they're still able to come out ahead, and they will get this fort very, very soon. Crosby moving around. You can see that huge burst coming out from the queue there. Nate and Eternal trying to delay this. Right now, they're incredibly outnumbered because Tascar had to be in. As Crosby knows he can't win that race, he's instead to come back and help his team defend. Crosby taking a huge chunk of damage from Li Ming here, but it's continuing to poke. Another set of magic missiles coming in here. And this time, we're finally seeing the damage of Samuro coming into effect on an Immortal, and we're seeing the Damascus boys struggling to burst through that, and that is the issue they're going to be having here. They're trying to survive it, though. Good poke coming in from Bad Dragon. Alex tanking through a huge amount of damage, pulls forward so he doesn't get stunned by the Immortal. Eternal taking half his health from Sir Tibble there, who was able to push through. He does have in the rhythm as opposed to the bigger they are, so he is just going to have consistent minigun as opposed to being able to trying to burst through the first set of health. Because then that shield will just give him permanent sustain. We see a wraparound being attempted. Orb misses though. Once again, another orb build coming in from the leaving. So Tibble trying to dive forward, but takes a multi-shot for his trouble. He's being dropped low, but they're not going to dive too deep here. Instead, we're just seeing Alex tank through this. Reba getting some good poke here. Reba did go for a full shield build, and it's already almost half stacked in terms of globes. Thanks to grabbing these Immortals. He's doing a pretty decent job considering how hard it is to collect globes on this map. There's the Immortal once again going over to the Damascus boys. And they're able to put themselves in a very good position moving into the still the early stages technically of this game, but they're beginning to approach the middle stages. We have the Ring of Fire coming in for Alex, who's continuing to push forward here, trying to get some pressure. Ordlin getting polymorph, so we can't mirror image. He drops it. He's trying to run. He will escape here. Going to be back to base. Hopefully doesn't get hit by anything which will stop him. The green micro is a bit further back to prevent that. Mortal taking some time killing off that tower as it was in its way. And heroics are available for the Damascus boys. We see the blink here. We see the Haymaker again. Wandering Keg, Force Wall, and Strafe coming in for the Damascus boys here. So we're going to see them try and push forward here. The Immortal, the shield is now down. That clone doing some good job. Here comes the barrel, trying to separate out Sir Tibble. They trap him in the corner. He is taking a lot of damage. He's tanking through it quite nicely. Sir Tibble gets healed from mouth. He's trying to back up, and he will escape here. Orlin doing some good damage. The Immortal's starting to drop low. The mirror images also getting wiped out very quickly. That's already two heroics down for the Damascus. There's the Haymaker though, immediately onto Arthur, who gets wiped off the face of the earth. His Icebound Fortitude not able to help him out here. Alex pushing forward, he's tanking as much damage as he can. Immortal with very little health left, pushing in, but with no Malfurion and everyone too low. The Immortal will go down, but the core may actually take some damage. We're going to see the Damascus boys try to end here. It is a 3 versus 5, but we're seeing some low matter on the side of Rebel Baller at least. We see some just any sustain coming out. Here comes Aldrin, drops the mirror images. Alex is still sustaining on the back. They've dropped the shield with the Brightwing phase shield here. They pulling back. He doesn't want to die. Crosby gets taken down. Eternal jumps onto the core with Alex and Eternal tanking through. Baller with the damage in the back. And Damascus boys take game number 1. Everyone came back to life, but they weren't able to beat through that sustain. And that's where we all thought this issue would come from. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. First game going over to the Damascus boys. Hope you all enjoyed. So let's head back to this screen and talk about what we thought happened in that game. So right now, that game was very strong looking. The first fight especially, I really think Samuro could have maybe done with swapping with Arthas or someone like that, so that they could have tried to get some damage onto the Immortal. Because the Unhallowed really didn't get any kind of value out of it. They just sort of let that first Immortal go, and after that, it was just a question of how much sustain the Damascus boys can keep up while defending the Immortal, and they did really well. Crosby especially making the good decision of realizing he was no way going to win that race because Tassadar had to go B on the second set of Immortals and had to come back and help his team instead. But the lack of damage we suspected didn't seem to matter because they instead just sort of stood in front of the enemy Immortal and stopped the enemy killing it, and that worked very well for them. So big congratulations to the Damascus boys for that first win of theirs, and we're going to be getting ready to head into their second game here. Very excited to see this. See if they can show another convincing win here. But once again, another team to look out for. Very convincing play by them here. And we will keep an eye on them, see if they can continue moving forward. I'm just going to have a look at the rest of the bracket. I'm going to see what everyone else is doing. I do want to attempt to jump into Misfits as our last game of the day. Unfortunately, they're winning really quickly, so I don't know if we're going to jump into them yet. I may have to. Well, considering how quick that game went, hopefully we should be good. I'm actually going to send Darkmock a little message here. This series is okay. Sent him little message. Look like Liquid are getting into lobbies as well. Apparently no one's streaming Misfits at the moment, so oh well. I'm gonna jump into them next round though, because I want to try and show off as many of the teams. I'm just sad I couldn't get to all of them. I want to show off Excellent Election. I want to show off Jabronis, 2B's Determined. There's so many teams. Hydropody. And who else is there? There's the Lost. Where are they? Where are they? What team am I thinking of? I know I'm thinking of something. Where are they? Oh, the Lost. No, I completely can't find them. There's a team that I'm thinking. Oh, the Lost Crowd 5. Oh, they're already. All right. Yeah, neat. Lost Crowd 5 already doing really, really well in their draft. So well done in their bracket. So well done on them. But yeah, so many good teams in this tournament. So I'm trying to cover as many as I can here by jumping between as many of them as possible. For now, though, just waiting for that game number 2 draft to materialize, and then we will jump in. Do we have a lobby to jump into? We do not. Taking a little bit here, I'm afraid. Oh well, we will keep waiting for the moment. Sad times is the issue of doing this as if it was live. Sometimes you just have to wait. Alright, but that means I have my scene set up, so that's all good. Everything is fine. Dear oh dear. So, yeah, there's a couple teams of keeping an eye out. There we go. Draft. Found it myself. Hooray! Alright, but it's not live yet. But yeah, there's a couple teams I want to keep an eye on. For example, there is Throw Incorporated, or Throw Incoming, which is, once again, my Discord peeps. So I'm keeping an eye on them. If they win their next match, they're against Excellent Election, which is going to be a pretty tough match, but I believe Discord peeps, you can do it. But for now, we do have the draft. In fact, we will jump onto that screen now, as you guys have been looking at this wonderful Nexus Challenge thing for a while now. So let's jump across to that. Boom! This is what we are waiting for, guys. Damascus boys versus the Unhallowed. It's going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen for this game number 2. Very exciting. And we haven't seen this map yet, so let's see how well they do. They already did a very good on one of the other on the last map, which is a bit of a PvE map, not as much as like Black Carts or anything, but it does require you to kill an objective very quickly, which the Valor got some good value on. Valor can have a similar amount of value on Tomb of the Spider Queen if you just drop the Q onto the Web Weaver. But of course, with the fact it bounces randomly, it can be an issue. A huge advantage of Valor on Tomb is because it's only one target to bounce between if you're fighting the Immortal solo as Valor, which is where we saw a very large amount of the value come from. But yeah, I'm impressed how much Remaballer was able to stack that Conjurer's Pursuit, considering that he didn't really have a huge amount of opportunity to collect globes. He did a very good job, was very mobile on the map. And yeah, Valor was just able to do everything she wanted to there. She was able to just get a huge amount of damage, and Brightwing with full teleport build was able to do some serious work too. Just get some shields and just all in onto the core. And the Haymaker by Thirdle. Second time we've seen Haymaker in this tournament as well. We're actually seeing a lot of different stuff. We've seen 2 sets of Leaming Orb builds, and we've seen 2 sets of Haymakers. So yeah, like we can see, the draft is here. but has not yet started. Keeping an eye on that, and I'm also keeping an eye in-game, waiting for the lobby to materialize. But I am excited. How are Griefers doing, actually? I can't do that because that's on my draft screen, so that's not happening. I also can't look at Skype for the moment. So, oh, there we go. No warning, we're in. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second draft between the Damascus boys and the Unhallowed. Currently 1-0 in favour of the Damascus boys. Let's see if the Unhallowed can pull it back, whether Damascus boys can throw a convincing second game in here. Damascus boys, right now, it's their ban. Question is, were they alert there? Because I didn't even notice this draft started. It just happened. So on this map, you want to remove some of the PvE. Zul's very strong on this map. Sylvanas is very strong on this map. You can just get some serious value going there and just get some huge push potential. Anyone who can clear the lanes. Asmodan, either with Sieging Wrath or if you can taste for Bloodstack, nice because damage, but it can be countered quite easily. But yeah, removing the wave clear like the Dahaka is a good ban there. But like we said, just any kind of wave clearer being removed is good. Let's see what people go with. Unhallowed. Thinking about it, this is also a map where we saw a lot of burst comps coming out. Like any team that had an all-in burst comp, because the lanes are quite thin, so you can trap people up against walls quite a bit because all the lanes are separated that way. So this was where we originally saw. I can't remember what team it was. I think it was it was Virtus Pro, where they used to play the Diablo with Lightning Breath Force Wall comp, where they basically go Diablo, flip, Force Wall the person they want to flip, and then Lightning Breath them along with Starfall. It was pretty nice. Unhallowed, also running down their time pool into the 40s. In fact, exactly the same amount of time in the bonus time pool, banning out that Brightwing, removing a bit of that global. 2 globals on what is, I believe, the smallest map in the map pool. So quite interesting there, but still cool to see. Gonna have a quick drink. Excuse me, Damascus boys doing exactly what we thought they would. Picking up some of that wave clear and pushing potential. Sylvanas immensely strong on every map, but she is very strong on this map as well. Barb Shot can really help you wipe out those web weavers. She has had a buff to possession, but I don't think it's going to be picked anyway. It's still not too valuable here. Malfurion, again, really solid on this map, able to get some good moonburns out there if he wants to clear the waves pretty quickly. So that's always nice for him. And the Zul coming out here. So basically they can just have Zul in their rotation between top and mid so that they can clear those waves and push them up, and it's a good counter to the Sylvanas. And of course the Zul skeletons are not stunned out by Sylvanas' Black Arrow. ETC coming out for the Damascus boys. They want to get that stun in. He's still the strongest tank. Muradin as a close second. It's very unlikely they'll pick Muradin, but that means Damascus boys can now ban him out, or Johanna, depending on how much wave clear they want to deny here. But now what else do they want? They probably want to support. With Brightwing banned out and Malfurion picked, they probably want to pick one of those up. Ariel's what we usually see here, but Rhaegar also very viable in this situation. We do see Ariel. We used to see Karazim a bit, but since his change, he sort of dropped off as a healer, which I think is the opposite effect Blizzard wanted to have. They sort of buffed his melee assassin build and nerfed his healing build, because the majority of healers' cleanse is very important, and so is the healing. Karazim was already okay as a healer, and he already had cleanse, and now basically Blizzard changed it so that if you want to cleanse, you one, have to wait till level 16 to do it, and 2, you have to all in to cleanse an ally, which the majority of the times you want to cleanse them, they're in a situation that you want them to leave. Instead, you're putting yourself into danger. So he's not being picked as much as a support nowadays. Falstad and Jaina being banned by the Unhallowed and the Damascus boys, respectively. So no Muradin ban coming in for the Damascus boys or Johanna ban. So they're leaving that up to the Unhallowed instead of just banning out some damage. Of course, that is a huge amount of potential damage if you get a Zul route into a Malfurion route into Jaina. You can just drop an immense amount of damage, so it's a sensible ban from the Damascus boys, and the Unhallowed just banning out safe, sustainy damage in the form of Falstad. They're looking for Gul'dan, still very nice, dropping that poison onto everyone, and to deny that kind of damage from Ariel, and they get their Muradin. So, they can change to Johanna if they want to, but they lock in the Muradin, so they have a nice, safe and secure tank. Valor, once again, coming out for the Damascus boys, worked very well last time. We already mentioned the advantage of it in this one. The random bouncing can be a bit of a problem, but overall, it is still definitely easy enough to work around. I'm just joining the lobby. And a Kerrigan coming in for the Damascus boys. So we're going to see that melee assassin style. Good burst potential to wipe out Gul'dan there. And maybe Zul if they could get him through his bone shield. And of course, Malfurion, very little escape potential until he gets Ice Block. And even then, he's still in a little bit of trouble once that does go down. So the Unhallowed, one last pick. What are they going to do? They only have one range that is Gul'dan. Malfurion not really counting here. And looks like they're just going to go all in to try and counteract that Kerrigan. If she dives onto their backline, they now have a Fear, they have a Sanctification, and a Twilight Dream. They have a lot of counters to this style here. And of course, the teams have bloody switched sides. Why do you do this to me, teams? Alright, well, let me sort that out. Bloody teams switching sides, making it difficult for me to bloody suffering succotash. Alrighty, so just sorting out the team names there. Why do they have to swap sides? Pain in my buttocks. Swap that. Boom. And I'm probably going to have to recenter those, because of course I will. Alright, so we're just waiting for all the players to join the lobby, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will get into this game number 2 in this best of 3 series. Let's have a quick look at my thing, see what everyone else is doing. Looks like Misfits are in-game for 8 minutes, so depending on how quickly this one lasts, I may have to ask them to wait. Hopefully they will wait a bit before they start the next series, if they win it, of course. And of course, if the Damascus boys win this, but unfortunately big breaks between games, this is exactly what ends up happening. Either way, we are getting ready right now. We're still waiting for players to join the lobby. But overall, in terms of drafts, we have a lot of all-in potential from Damascus boys and a lot of snowball potential. If they can grab some kills here, then they will snowball very, very effectively. They can get Sylvanas to push in really nicely. ETC is going to get all the stats if he goes for Prog Rock, and of course the block if he wants to just try and prevent that Zul damage a little bit. So he's going to get some serious work done. Whereas, on the other side, we do have the Unhallowed with a huge amount of disengage potential. Like, just a massive amounts of disengage potential, because they can just drop that Twilight Dream, they could drop that Terrified, they could drop Sanctification. Zul could even go for the Toxic if he wanted to, but I expect it's going to be Skeletal Mages here to just try and slow down Kerrigan and maybe do some stuff to Ariel here. But either way, Ariel doesn't have a huge amount of stack off. She's going to be relying on Sylvanas probably with the W spam, maybe a bit of stuff from the Valor multi-shot. So she's going to get some stacking, but not a huge, but not as much as she would from someone like Lunara. Not as consistent stacking, but she should be fine. And of course, that lovely Aegis is going to get some massive value here. Players now are all in and are readying up. We have some serious skin game here coming out of the Damascus boys. You will see in game. But we currently have 3 Master Skins and 2, I think, Legendary Skins from both of those, actually. So, very nice. In the meantime, but yeah, the Unhallowed, if they could disengage well and not get themselves caught, good cleanses, good sanks, etc., I think they're going to be able to keep themselves alive and maybe get some good turnarounds onto the Damascus boys. However, if the Damascus boys can get any kind of advantage at all, then the snowball potential is absolutely there for them. The countdown has begun and ended. And ladies and gentlemen, we are loading into game number 2 between the Damascus boys and the Unhallowed. I hope you're excited, because I am. We saw a really convincing game in game number 1. Question is, can the Unhallowed create any kind of comeback for game number 2 and take this to a game number 3 and ruin my chances of getting to cast Misfits today? Boom, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's jump up map scores and see how messed up they are. Damn it, Damascus boys. 1 second, let me fix that first. And then we will jump in over there. And that should be good. I think I just accidentally moved it up or down a bit. I'm sure it's fine. But there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tomb of the Spider Queen. And spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, it is going to be the Unhallowed. Playing for them, it is going to be Zul, being played by Bad Dragon. It is going to be Doombane, playing the Gul'dan, Sir Tibble on the Tyrael, Aldrin on the Muradin, And of course is Cadrock. I keep pronouncing that wrong, playing the Malfurion. Whereas on the right hand side with an AFK ETC, on the right hand side in the red trucks, currently 1-0 up in this series, it is going to be the Damascus boys playing the Sylvanas. It is Remaballer. Eternal is playing the Kerrigan. Nate is playing the Ariel. Crosby on the Valor again, and Alex the Proti stunning out Buradin on the ETC for that first blood. I am Tetcher. It's time for game number 2 in the Heroes Global Championship qualifiers for Europe for the 2017 season. Rema immediately dropping in with that W, with that Shadow Dagger onto Sir Tibble, pushing him back and able to grab some control in this lane straight away. Let's have a look at some of the talents as we watch Malfurion get murdered. Rip Malfurion, you will be pissed. So, having a look here at some of these talents, we're already seeing Gul'dan starting to get a little bit of stacking. No stacking talents for the Damascus boys. I expected the potential for a prog rock here, but that's not the case here. We will, however, see a stacking talent a bit later on due to the fact that we are seeing the Searing Light coming in. Ariel, we were a bit worried, like we said, she's going to be fine grabbing the energy. It's just not going to be as consistent, but she is going to get a lot of energy when those abilities are used here. Alex, very outnumbered here, as are Crosby and Remaballer, but instead, they turn in a situation where they look outnumbered. They turn it around and get a kill without Kerrigan even being there. She turns up a little bit late. She's going to get her health back thanks to that siphoning impact here. They're going to push up. But as you see, with no proc rock for the sustain, whereas Ariel can build up her energy later on with the Endless Energy. I've completely forgotten the name of the talent for the moment, but she is going to pull back for now with the rest of her team, keeping them all... but right now, actually, she's holding the top lane, getting rooted by Bad Dragon, who has run out of mana very, very fast right now. But she can get some good poking potential. But Nate, he wants to be able to drop some burst damage and some burst sustain onto his team in the late game. And this basically allows him to be a solo laner a bit as well. Taking the heavy burden, giving that extra slow. So they really want to go for that one-shot bursting where whoever they hit with their crowd control, they're able to burst down. Eternal was thinking about going on to Doombane there and actually got the second jump thanks to the clean kill. They're going on to Odin, pull him in through his jump. He gets locked down. Eternal even got the reset there. They weren't able to prevent the gems being picked up. But once again, Damascus boys in full control here. Tyrael with even in death here. But right now, doesn't really matter. He can't protect his team are the ones that are dying. He's not doing that much. Doombane dropping low. He does survive, but that's a big damage coming out of the Unhallowed here. They're able to get a kill on the Sylvanas. They're trying to get Eternal as well. Sir Tibble diving deep. If he dies, though, he will have even in death. He does go down. Can he get him? Throws the sword. Teleports in. Hits no one. Grabs just the buildings here. And that's bad news because now Eternal turning it around onto Doombane and jumps in for the kill. He's now being focused down by 3 heroes though. Nate with the heal, pulls against the 2-man start onto Bad Dragon and Ogdrin. And now Crosby just dropping as much damage as he can. They turn on to Cadrock. Cadrock, one more hit. Alex going through the wall to get the kill here. Pushes Aldrin out and turns onto Back Dragon. And they get the kill of that as well. Alex dropped low, but he's able to escape through the wall. Tyrael thinking about diving in there, but oh my god, the kills there. So many kills. They go in again. They're going on to Sir Tibble. He's trying to escape with his shield. He's dropped low. He gets picked off. Doombane picks up the gems. Alex is killed off. This game is just a wow. This is just so much action happening in this early stage of the game. 10 kills by the 4-minute mark, sorry, right now. But oh my god, just kills all over the place. And Remaballer has just been pushing this top lane while this is happening. Dodges out the corruption, preventing any more stacks happening. She has Barb Shot combined with that paralysis and Lost Soul. So once again going for that anti-mercenary build, but also going to help her with that Cold Embrace later on, thanks to that Lost Soul. Ariel with the Bursting Light, reducing the cooldown of Echo of Heaven, and right now, not Echo of Heaven, sorry, of Ray of Heaven. And right now, I don't see an issue with that. She's at full energy, and she's just been spamming it thanks to that huge damage coming out from her team. But Alex getting the second stun, despite being getting rooted, they guarantee the kill onto the Muradin there. Very nicely done. Crosby now pushing in with the rest of his team. Sylvanas immediately disabling that fort. And that's going to be the first port of the game, going over to the Damascus boys, gaining immense control of this first half of the game. First quarter of the game even. They're barely halfway through here. Corruption though does land very nicely from Doombane there. He's dropping down, he's desperately trying to keep his team alive. The Zul has not been allowed to get any potential at all. He's just been bullied this entire game. Valor taking the Death Dealer here, that extra volt, which he took in the last game here. Sorry, got the extra volt. Yeah, sorry, if it kills its victim, so if she bolts onto a minion, she can get a second bolt. It's a good escape mechanism to see sometimes from Valor. And also, it's a good her resets if she can get some kills, so if she uses that to finish off her target. She gets a kill. That doesn't reset it. Once again, she needs to reset with the auto attack from the Volt. But wow, they're just going for the end. They are pushing in here with Gul'dan down. They're going to try and end the game. They have Heroics. They have Wailing Arrow, Maelstrom, the Resurrect. There's the mosh pit. And wow, Tyrael just deleted here. And Tyrael trying to go in to grab someone. Crosby getting dropped low. Resurrect from Dave. Can he rotate round? Because Crosby might need it soon. They're just going for the call though. Alex goes down. Dave coming in for the Resurrect. Brings back HGC. They continue to go for the core. They pull in Doombane. They stun him out. And it's going to be GG at the 5-minute mark. Just short of the 6-minute mark. And that is going to be a GG. The Damascus boys take the game and the series. They will move on to the next round. Well then, that was certainly interesting. Wow, the revive, the resurrect to end the game. What a fantastic showing here by the Damascus boys. They're able to take the game and the series. They will move on and are one step closer to moving on here. Remember, my recordings will only go up to the just before the quarterfinals here, because after the quarterfinals, I believe I'm going to be jumping in with someone else to cast on stream, so there won't be VODs on my channel of those, but I do want to get any casts out there for you guys, as many as I can. And how much did we, actually I'm not going to show that on stream, but yeah, guys, there you go. Very convincing showing by the Damascus boys. We will keep an eye on them as we move on into the future of these qualifiers and in the main tournaments, because that was a convincing showing from them here. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Tetcher. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Big congratulations to the Damascus boys. Tomorrow's video, when you see it, will be me casting Misfits, because we definitely finished before Misfits here. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.